Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliament for the welfare of society and just government of men, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country, and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our church. Amen.
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Tuesday, 6 December 2022.
Honourable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Tuesday, 6 December 2022 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honourable member move a motion for correction and approval of the said record of votes and proceedings? Honourable member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I rise to move a motion for the correction and approval of record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Tuesday, 6 December 2022.
Honourable members, any seconder? Honourable member for Tumanna.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honourable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Tuesday, 6 December 2022 be considered and approved. Any observation, comments will follow. As usual, we've got the record of votes and proceedings, and we'll look through it page by page, beginning with page 1. Honourable member for Woodley East.
Yes, Honourable Speaker, if you look at under the bill, where you have Honourable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs, look at the spelling carefully, and this is a common error. They spell it like French. The E is not there. It's not the ES. You've seen it.
Honourable members, number 3, bills. You have Appropriation Bill 2023 by the Honourable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs. The affairs does not, the E should not be there. AFFAIRS. Any more on page 1? We move to page 2. Honourable member for Basse.
Speaker, Musa Baji, Kalindi. I think he was not. Was he present?
Honourable member for Basse.
Musa Baji, Kalindi, was he present? I don't think he was present.
Musa,
yesterday.
Use your mic, please.
I said Musa Baji, Kalindi. I think he was not present yesterday. Number 6.
Back to page 1.
Yes, we are on page 1.
Pardon?
Page 1.
No, we've moved to page 2. Let's go back to page 1, honorable members. Number 6, Honorable Musa Baji of Talindi. You said he was not present.
Yesterday, yes.
Sorry, the table office is informing me that Honorable Musa Baji was here yesterday, and that shortly after he took permission and left for a mission. Honorable Member for Nyani.
Honorable Speaker, page 2. My name is captured under those absent with permission, and I was here yesterday. Page 2, number 47.
Number 47, Honorable Omar Job, member for Nyani. You were here yesterday, and you were put on the absence with permission. Noted, honorable members, table office. Any more on page 2? We move to page 3. Honorable members, we now move to page 4. Honorable members, we move to page 5. Honorable member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. If you go to resumption of the assembly, I have a problem with that sentence. If you look at the last one, where it's saying, having gone through the Committee of Supply, the addition there, and the report of the Committee of Supply, I don't think that is necessary there. And the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted with amendments. So all he said is that having gone through the Committee of Supply, be adopted with amendments. And the amendment too should not be amendments, should be just amendment, because it's only one amendment that was done. Yeah, following.
Honorable members, let's look at the sentence again. At the invitation of the Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs reported that the bill entitled the Appropriation Bill 2023, having gone through the Committee of Supply, and that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted with amendments. You know, we have to be mindful. They are reporting what transpired and what the Honourable Minister demanded the committee to do. So, what was the proposal for the Honourable Member for Wolle East?
The way you read it now is different. And that the report of the Committee of Supply.
Just to include
in that way, then it's fine.
Just to include that, and that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted with amendments. There was only one amendment. I understand there were two amendments. This is what the table office is reporting. The amendments were, head 35 was repeated twice. It was corrected to 34. And one of the ministries, I think digital economy, the off was missing. And we inserted the off. Honourable Member for Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm taking you back to page 4, where you have Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. It's not part of the record. Head 34.
You're taking us back to page 4. You go to page 5. It continued on page 5. You see, Have you seen it? Yeah, it was amended. That's why it was put separate, so that it can be noted that there was an amendment on it. Member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm taking you back to page 4 again.
Page
4. Yes, head 23, Minister of Environment and Climate Change. I think it should be Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife.
I think they are quoting from the bill itself.
No, in the bill is Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife.
Pardon?
Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife.
Yeah, but this was what was presented to them. They cannot add their own. They have extracted what is on the day. That could have been amended on the bill and it will be shown.
Speaker, on the bill it was Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife.
And you are confirming that it is what is there. Then it will be amended. That's number 23. environment, climate change, and wildlife. So the "and" should be out. It should be environment. Yeah, I mean the "and" should be out. A comma, environment, climate change, and wildlife. Noted. Thank you very much. Page 5. No more on page 5. We move to page 6. All right, thank you, honorable members. It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Tuesday, 6 December 2022 be approved with amendments. We did. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, can we proceed? Sorry, Clerk. Member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, rise on order 53K, motion agreed by the Speaker to be a matter of urgency, with your permission, sir.
Please continue.
Thank you very much. Honourable Speaker, on the 26th of October 2022, a resolution of the National Assembly mandated the Health Committee to conduct a full-scale parliamentary inquiry into the matter of the acute kidney injury among children that resulted to the death of at least 66 plus children. Having conducted a series of hearings, and we continue to receive witnesses, noting that the mandate of the inquiry ended on the 30th of November 2022, according to the resolution, noting that a term of reference was given to the committee with clear guidelines, noting that the Assembly Business Committee scheduled the committee's report on the 8th of December 2022, that is tomorrow, noting that the committee want to present a very comprehensive and a good report that will help the Assembly make an informed decision on the matter. The committee hereby seek for extensions of the mandate of the committee to at least the 28th of this month for us to be able to prepare a very good report and continue our engagement and submit back to the plenary. Thank you so much, and I beg on your indulgence.
Honorable member, you are looking for an extension within this session? Okay. Any seconder? Yes? Who is saying yes? Honorable member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I also second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the motion so tabled be adopted by the Honourable Assembly. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. I am balanced.
I call for division.
Honorable members.
I call for division.
Honorable members.
Hello, Honourable Speaker, can they give reasons, please? Can they give reasons why?
Honorable members, shouting will not solve a problem in Parliament.
I call for division.
I said it.
There are processes that we follow. And I'm sure you are all aware and well acquainted with those processes. Why do we shout? Huh? That will not change decisions.
I call for division.
It is the Speaker's prerogative, after listening, it makes a decision.
Yes.
If members are not satisfied, there is another process. You don't shout. If you shout, I will not listen to you. Please.
I call for division, Honourable Speaker.
You got
Lower Salum.
Who's your tax up?
Lower Salum. You are not seeing.
Lower Salum?
Is here.
Yes?
Yes, I call for division.
I'm not hearing.
I'm calling for division. Yes.
Now, honorable members, we are now going to raise our tax to vote on the motion.
Speaker.
All right, before we go into votes, may I hear you? Opa Fuladu, is it?
Yes, Honourable Speaker.
Councillor follow suit.
Yes, Honourable Speaker, I think the query that some of the members are trying to raise, that is the reason why for extension. I think the chairman of the Health Committee have clearly stated that the committee wants to come up with a very, very comprehensive report that should be laid before the Parliament. So that is the main reason for extension.
Yeah, I think the honourable chairman made it very clear in the motion that they need extra time to be able to prepare the report and lay it preferably on the 20th of this month. Meaning the report is not ready as we speak. Now let's vote against it. We will now see what we can do. All right, honourable member for, is it Councillor?
Yes. My worry was I didn't hear the specific date mentioned of when would their report be ready. This was why I queried. He said within the period. I wanted specifically so as to know the date in which they think it will work well. That's my worry. Yes.
You are probably not very attentive because
Chairman, can you help us?
Honourable members,
yes,
I repeated it myself and said, Honourable Chairman of the Health Committee, are you suggesting that we move the date to the 20th of this month? He said yes. Because I also want to confirm where the timeline is within this session.
No, I'm more specific about the timeline, yeah.
Ganjambure?
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. After hearing from the chairperson of the said Select Committee, I think it will be important for them to inform this assembly as per how much have they gone with the level of their work than actually seeking for the 20th of this month. For the fact that I think there are families that await to hear the report of the Select Committee than just leaving things vague. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable member, I think this is very clear. The report is incomplete. They want time to present a better report to you people. Whatever the situation of the families may be, they want a good report so that you are better informed, so that you can make informed decisions on their behalf. It's not to rush it through. I want to believe that it's very honest of them to come and table this motion before you, seeking your permission. And they are not moving it to next session. It's within the same session. Honourable member for Busumbala.
Much Honourable Speaker, can we have a preliminary report of their findings? Can we have that?
Honourable member, my worry would be, when are you going to have that? Because as we speak now, from their information, there is no report. They are seeking for extension. If you have to prepare a preliminary report, they must go and prepare it and bring a preliminary report
Honourable Speaker, this is a committee that is tasked to do some investigation into this matter. If they come to say it, you know, they need an extension, we are in our perfect right to ask for a preliminary report. What is the stage? Yeah, but the preliminary report.
Honourable member for Nyanija and the chairman of the Health Committee.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and then thank you very much, honourable members. We understand the concern. I'm speaking on behalf of the committee, and we understand members' intention towards this issue because this was why it was called for an extraordinary session. But as I said, we don't want to just write something haphazard and present before you. Remember, this is a health issue, and health issues have to do with science and scientific evidence. This is not like you just go and calling witnesses, hearing from them. You need evidence. We don't want to present anything here that is not evidence. We don't want to present anything here that is not factual. We want to come with facts, evidence, and proofs based on international standards, based on best parliamentary practice, so I can present you. So I beg
honourable members,
on your indulgence, to please allow us until the 20th to come and present to you a very comprehensive report, which we will all be happy with. So far, we have conducted almost, I can say, 80% of the work, 80 to 90%. We are just left with few finishing touches, few witnesses, some cross-examinations from the stakeholders, and we will be done. By 28, inshallah, we'll present a report. Thank you so much.
Honourable members, I allowed a few debates for understanding, but we should have just put it to the vote. You reserve the right to accept the motion or to throw it out. All right? So, do we vote or I put the question back after the debate?
Withdraw.
Honourable member for Lower Salum.
Yes, I have withdrawn for the calling for division.
Yeah, it's well explained.
So, are you telling me my earlier decision stands? I am vindicated?
Yes, yes, you are the chair.
The ayes have it.
I want to see the person who is saying no. Low down.
It's myself saying no.
Who? I am not surprised that it's going to be you.
Thank you.
There are times when people's heads are above water, some people are down within the water, struggling.
Yeah, Honourable Speaker, these are matters of national interest, and
honourable member,
we cannot rest.
Please.
Very well.
Honourable member, you just raise your tag. You don't just jump and speak in Parliament. Please. Otherwise, we will be a disorganized institution. You shout there, he shouts, and somebody shouts. Who's going to listen? Raise your tag. We will not deny anybody who wants to speak. If you want to talk, please. So, honourable members, as I said, my previous, he wants to, yes, hear you.
Thank you. It's good that you hear me and listen to me too. We have given them a mandate and a duration. Just like my initial submission on the issue. These are
honourable member,
Honourable Speaker, allow me to rest.
Honourable member, please.
Allow me to rest.
Honourable member, please, take your seat first. Honourable member, I have just said before I put to you that I am not entertaining debate again. We are going to put it to a vote. The debate is just to give you opportunity to, it should not have been debated. There was a motion, you agree or you throw it out. It's not purposely for debate. That's why if we want to continue that, we will continue the whole day debating. And I have said, no debate. If you are not satisfied, we put it to a vote. If you are in agreement, we adopt. If you are not in agreement, we throw it into the waste paper basket. No debate. Honourable members, it is proposed that the motion so tabled by the health chairman be adopted by this August Assembly. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. Clerk, can we continue?
Corrections for oral answer.
Honourable members, as per the order paper and order 41 of the standing orders, today is questions for oral answers. Furthermore, as a reminder, clause 43 of the standing orders limited supplementary questions to 7 in total, 2 for the honourable member asking the question and 5 among other members. Therefore, honourable members, we will proceed with the honourable ministers scheduled for today to give their oral answers. I thank you very much. Clerk, can we proceed?
Corrections for oral answer by the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure by honourable members for oral reply. Honourable Minister of Transport. Question number just looking at this. Question number 0152 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Central Badibu. Central Badibu.
He's not here. He's out.
No authority. All right. Question number 0153 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Upper Fladu West.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Well, the question before me to the Honourable Minister. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure tell this August Assembly whether his ministry has any plan to provide a new ferry at Bansam Bustown crossing point?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The Bansam ferry, which was acquired in 1994, had been taken to the BANJUL shipyards for major rehabilitation works. The ferry is currently awaiting delivery of spare parts, and expected completion of works is end of February 2023.
Any supplementary, Honourable Member?
No.
Honourable Member, if you pose a question and it is answered, if you have supplementary question, you don't need to wait for me. You can just rise up and put your supplementary question. Remember, you have 2 supplementary questions to put at most. So, Honourable Member for Upper Fladu West, you have no supplementary.
No, I have no supplementary question pertaining to that issue.
Thank you very much. Honourable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Can you please allow me to lay a foundation? Honourable Speaker, knowing the constraint that most people suffered this said crossing point, the Honourable Minister said 2023. How soon? Which month? Because people are suffering. There is no specific month. He just said 2023.
Actually, it is end of February 2023.
Honourable Member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, February 2023, and then in the meantime, what is the prevailing condition there? What is happening right now? Is it that there is no ferry now? What is the short-term measures that is put in place there?
Well, the short-term solution is actually the use of the Janjambure route, which is very close to Bansang, especially for people with vehicles or other heavy goods. If not, the small pirogues are still applying, and then all safety services are in place on the pirogues. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Bakau. Honourable Member for Jeswang.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Yes, Honourable Minister, I mean, with regards to this ferry crossing issue, the same problem was highlighted at Kuntaur Dankunku crossing point. The ferry there also had a little problem.
Honourable Member, that's substantive. We are talking about Bansang ferry crossing. Please.
Honourable Member for Busumbala.
Very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, you did inform us Janjambre is very close to Bansang. How close? How close? Because Janjambre and Bansang, there are different routes. So how close it is?
Well, I'm sure you are familiar with the northern part of the Trans-Gambia route. I mean, especially the northern part of CRR. Anyone coming from the Nyani end, the Nyanija end, they have the option of either using the Bustan road to Janjambure, to Bansang, or they use the other route to Janjambure. And this is the only best possible solution that we have right now. I mean, we cannot allow a ferry that is a public hazard to be used by the public, so we have to withdraw it. And right now, the only option for heavy-duty vehicles and those with heavy goods is actually to use the Janjambure and then continue on the south bank to reach Bansang. Now, as we are doing the repair of the ferry, those who have no other problems of using the route, by using the pirogues, that is available. That is available. But I cannot actually remember the exact kilometer of length from Bansang to Janjambure. It's not more than 25 kilometers anyway.
Members, we are looking at, I'm having word with the table office on an issue. However, we will just continue. We have already got 5, but we will give the member for Janjambure an opportunity. Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I think Bansang is very close to my constituency, and that is really very fair to give me the platform. Honourable Minister, looking at the condition of the Bansang ferry service, do you think repairing that particular ferry would really be a long-term solution for the people of the area? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Just to assure the Honourable Member that the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure has just started the negotiations or the discussions, the initial discussions, to consider putting a bridge over the Gambia River at the Bansang Crossing and also Janjambure. These are at the initial stages, and we are looking at the designs, and hopefully as a long-term solution, we will put a bridge over the bridge.
Thank you. Bridge in Janjambure might not be a solution, sir.
Question number
Thank you.
154 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Tumanna.
Honourable Speaker, I have supplementary.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the feeder road connecting Tinkinjo village, Sanonding, Madina Samako, up to Diabuku Basila, is still in a poor state, thus a major problem for the people of Tumanna. Could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly how urgent his ministry plans to address this poor road condition? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The construction of the road linking Tinkinjo, Kisikisi, Kulukule, Sanunding, Dandu, and Keneba, all the way to Kunkandi, Sare Mamadi, Medina Samako, up to Diabugo Silaba, is earmarked for construction for the year 2023-2024 upon availability of funds. We have already done the design works for this particular road, and we are waiting for the funds to do it for 2023-2024.
Thank you very much. Are you aware that the same road goes into Kantora through Misraba Mariama, then to Nyamanar back to Fatoto? If yes, are they going to be constructed together, as it will affect over 20 communities that line up on the said route?
Yes, I am aware. I visited the area last week, and I know that UNOPS has already done some works, the feeder roads on this particular stretch. What we are going to do now is to seal this particular route.
When can we expect the laying of the foundation stone?
Well, give us the money. I mean, we presented a budget to the Ministry of Finance, and our budget is before the National Assembly. I mean, if you give us more money, we'll be able to give you more roads. Yes.
Honourable members, as usual, as I said, when you pose the question and it's answered, don't wait for me. You can rise to supplementary questions if you have. And immediately, honourable members, if you have any supplementary questions, you may raise your tag so that your names can be noted down. All right. Now we have the honourable member for Upper Fuladu West.
Yes, thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, I am from Upper Fuladu West constituency. Probably you might not know my constituency very well. My constituency, I have a community of 135 villages. Like the question that I want to ask the Honourable Minister, do your ministry have any plan to construct the road from Sololo to Jahanka? Is there any plan?
Yes, Honourable Minister, please wait a while. Point of order, yes.
Honourable Speaker, the question raised, the substantive question is about Tumanna, and the villages are very well mentioned. So don't go to Fuladu, please. Thank you.
Point of order sustained. So, Honourable Minister, please ignore the answer. Honourable members, we now move to question number 155 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Combo East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, may I ask the Honourable Minister, due to the lack of school bus services coupled with the expensive commercial transport fees, students within Combo East finds it difficult to reach to school on time. Would the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure tell this August Assembly whether his ministry has any plan to provide school bus services to those areas?
Thank you, Honourable Member for Combo East. Honourable Speaker, the provision or extension of school transport service is determined by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education in consultation with the Gambia Transport Services Company, which is the operator. The Ministry of Basic Education determines the routes based on the distribution of the schools and student population, whilst the GTSC advises MOPSI on the cost of operation on the defined routes. At the moment, the Gambia Transport Services Company is covering Greater Banjul area based on the advice of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. However, once the request comes from the MOPSI for the extension of coverage of GTSC services to areas in Combo East, we will consider that based on the availability of suitable buses.
Honourable Speaker, I think I have it up to redirect my follow-ups. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems as the Honourable Minister has directed you to the relevant ministry. We now move to question number 0156 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Lower Badibo constituency. Yes. Lower.
Honourable Speaker.
Question, yes?
The member for Lower Badibu instructed me to read his questions.
Is not?
He instructed me to read his question on his behalf, to read the question on his behalf. He said that he has already notified the table office.
He has authorized you to read his question?
Yes.
That's the member for Nyani?
Yes.
Okay, may we hear it.
Okay, it reads, Honourable Speaker.
You want to authorize somebody, you tell the table office.
Yeah.
So it is noted. Please.
He told me that he notified the office already.
Yeah, the Honourable Member, he told me, he came to my office and was not feeling fine. And he came to take permission. I said, you can go home. But he said he was going to wait until we have the quorum. But he never told me that he had questions that he has authorized somebody to. But you can go ahead. If he has so authorized you, please go ahead.
Yeah, he did. Thank you. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Work and Infrastructure explain to this August Assembly if and when his ministry plans to extend the construction of the road that link Njawara to Mintekunda?
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure is currently in close collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture for the construction of the remaining sections linking Jawara to Mintekunda in 2023. And we want to, the Honourable Member, that hopefully in the fourth quarter the laying of the foundations will take place for this particular stretch.
It's okay.
Question number 0157 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Lower Fuladu West.
Thank you very much. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform the August Assembly if the Ministry has its plan to construct series of feeder roads connecting villages in Lower Fuladu?
Thank you, Honourable Member for Lower Fuladu West. Honourable Speaker, for the Lower Fuladu East and West, especially on the south bank of the River Gambia, we don't have immediate plans, but for the whole of the CRR, we have roads that we have already earmarked and they have already been surveyed. These include one Lamenkoto to Bani, Kujeu, Kunting, which is 12 kilometers. Then we also have Karantaba to Jeneru, then Tabanani to Damfai Njaga, and then to Fututi Fula, which is 26 kilometers. And then we have Brikamaba, Boyram, Joben, Welengaraba, Kejau, and Saruja, which is on the south bank of the river, and that is 12 kilometers. As roads earmarked for construction for the year 2023-2024, subject to for availability of funds, we assure that a nationwide road inventory and condition survey will be conducted in 2023, and new roads, including those in Upper Fladu West, will be identified as part of this exercise and added to the proposed list of roads for construction once funding is available.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. I just want to put to your notice that since independent, Lower Fladu West have never benefited any road from your said ministry. And for that being the fact, if also you are telling us, again, there are no short-term plans, people of Fladu are crying.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Just to tell you that we have already surveyed 400 kilometers of roads. And we are going to survey additional 800 kilometers across the country. The reason being that we are now going away from doing feeder roads because they are expensive and not sustainable. So we are tasked to do 1,200 kilometers in the next 4 years. And roads in Lower Fladu West, I can assure you, will be surveyed and then will be included in the roads that will be done in the next 5 years. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Lower Fladu, Lower Salu.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Are you aware that the budget estimate for 2023 is passed and the Minister of Finance says $2 billion is saved in the capital budget?
Yes, we are aware of that, but that still is not enough for road works that we have earmarked for 2023. Because we presented a budget of more than $4 billion to the Ministry of Finance. That has been slashed to $2 billion. Yes, we know that for other road works or other infrastructure works, remember that is not for only roads, but infrastructure works generally conducted by the government, and not only the Ministry of Works, but all other ministries within the government. That will share that additional $2 billion. Now, if the National Assembly can put a cap on how much should go to the Ministry of Works, we will add more roads that are to be done for different constituencies across the country.
Honourable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister please provide us with the list of roads that are earmarked for construction in the year 2023?
Yes, we can provide that. Hopefully, we will send the list to the Speaker through the Office of the Clerk so that it can be distributed to honourable members. This is a tentative list we have provided to the Ministry of Finance, but they are not budgeted for, there is no budget for them. In the meanwhile, what I can assure the General Assembly members is that we are also working with the Ministry of Finance to do some alternative funding mechanisms, with partners through PPP and other means to ensure that we have at least a good distribution of road works across the country.
Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
I withdraw my question. It seems I have a substantive question related to that. Thank you very much.
Honourable Members, question number 0158 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Jara East constituency.
Honourable Speaker. Yes, he authorized me to ask his questions. And he sent the message to table office.
Who is speaking?
Honourable Member for Jara West.
Jara West?
Yes.
Okay, you are authorized?
By Honourable Member for Jara East.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Honourable Speaker, the roads connecting Bureng to Dasilame Junction and Sinchunjengudi to Bureng via several other villages have not been constructed. Could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly if his ministry has any plans to construct these roads? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the roads connecting Bureng to Daslame Junction and Sunchu Ngenending to Bureng were engineered and constructed to laterite gravel standards through the projects under Ministry of Agriculture, which was the FASDEF project. However, efforts will be made to upgrade them to pave roads and safeguard the investment already made on these roads.
Thank you very much. No supplementary.
Question number 0159 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Sandu.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly of the Ministries' plan to construct feeder roads across the country, especially Sandu constituency? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, a nationwide road inventory and condition survey will be conducted in 2023 and added to the proposed list of roads for construction once funding is available, and this includes the roads in Sandu.
Question number for Samis.
Yes, thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, which road have you identified in Sandu?
Well, during the Meet the People's tour, I had an engagement with the Honourable Minister and also, the Honourable Member of Sandu and also Honourable Minister colleague from Sandu. They have identified at least 6 roads that are critical, but they will be surveyed, as I said in the speech. And we will now do this in collaboration with the Honourable Members of Parliament. I mean, it is unfortunate that when we were doing the first 400 kilometers, a number of members of parliament who were invited to the committee meetings could not make it, and they did not identify us the roads that we need to do, especially in the southern bank of the River Gambia, in the CRR and also in URR. But I want to assure you that we will do a proper engagement this time so that we can sit with you and then you give us some of the roads in your areas.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, as you know, the need for road construction is everywhere. And it will be interesting to know if the ministry has a clear criteria as to what roads are or how roads are being prioritized. Because that's important as well. Thank you.
Yes, we look at different criteria. One is the level of usage of the roads in terms of movement of goods and services. That's an important criteria that you look at when you are doing the road. But also, I mean, the population density of the area. But more importantly, also the service, how far the communities are from the services, so that you can enhance the movement of the people to get access to the services, but also for trade also to flourish in those areas. All in all, I mean, these are important criteria, but now we have also added one, which is looking at the contribution to the budget and how detached some of these communities are from the national services, and what we can do to ensure that as a government we bring those services to them, first by collaborating with other ministries, because if you do the roads, naturally it is easier for electricity and water to come. So we work with stakeholders within the system to ensure that those services are also considered. So these are some of the considerations that we put into consideration. But basically, we know that in the URR regions and the CRL, a number of these communities never had any roads. So we are putting a lot of consideration into that as well. That is why if you look at our road plan, I will share this with you. We have a number of roads in those areas, catchment areas.
Honourable Member for Sanimentary.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Minister, could you also provide us equally with the list of routes that has been prioritized for this 2023 budget? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that.
Question number 0160 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Talinding Kunja.
He's not here.
Question number 0161. Honourable Member for Talinding Kunyang, he is still not here. Question number 0162 of 2022. Honourable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly if there are plans to construct the following roads in the Fonyi Kansala? Road Kapa Balen, Funtan Jikes, Kanilai, Kanfenda Burok Dumbuto Tintiba, Buyam Kurundulai, Bujinga, down to Karur, Sangajor, Giramba, leading to Dasilame Srif Kunda. However, Speaker, all these roads are in a bad condition. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, in addition to the villages mentioned by the Honourable Member for Fonyi Kansala, government has earmarked for construction in 2023-2024 the following roads pending the availability of funds not only for Fonyi Kansala but the rest of the Fonyis, and they include Daslame Sangajor to Burog, Dumbuto to Timtimba, which is 4.5 kilometers, Burog to Dobong, to Kankuntu to Buyam, which is 6 kilometers, Dasilame to Sangajor, which is 6 kilometers, Kalaji to Kamanka to Jorem Bunda to Bondali Jola, which is 9 kilometers, Kampanti to Kapa to Buyam, which is 8 kilometers, Kamamudu to Kansambu to Kampasa Road, which is 2.5 kilometers, Buromba to Bulanget to Kankurang to border villages, which is about 7.5 kilometers. On the way forward regarding rural accessibility in general, the government of the Gambia intends to initiate a rural roads program covering all regions of the Gambia to improve the conditions of the rural roads network and add value to agricultural production and promote food self-sufficiency. In doing so, regional rural roads will be packaged per region, surveyed, designed, costed and implemented. In the Fonyis, this initiative will complement efforts being made through the Ministry of Agriculture projects.
Thank you. The road of Kapa down to Balen, there is a school, and it has really affected the movement. The road is very gullied. Do your ministry have a short-term plan now to see accessibility of that bad road?
Well, we can arrange with one of the contractors that is fully mobilized there to level the road for us, for the community, while the medium to long-term measures are put in place.
Yes, down to Kanfenda to Tintiba, a military base, or sometimes they do exercise there. You know, their trucks has badly affected the road. Do you also have any short plan to assist the villagers of that area?
Okay, Honourable, maybe you can work with us. You can put in a request. Those things are not very difficult. We can work with the contractor to help us, level the road. Just write to us a request, and then we will see what can be done urgently.
Thank you. Thank you.
Question number 0163 of 2022, Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honourable Speaker, the government has committed millions of dollars worth of equity to OIC Hotel project, and the contract for its construction has been signed months ago. However, the progress on construction percentage is still at 0%. Could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly on the position of the government on this OIC project?
Thank you, Honourable Member for Latrikunda Savage. Honourable Speaker, on the contrary, I wish to inform the Honourable House that work has indeed started on the site. Already there is an 8-man team of engineers on the ground doing artwork, as well as Ghanaian team doing the landscaping. It is important also to note that the concessionaire has already committed $4,300,950 for equipment that are expected to arrive in the Gambia very soon.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. I want also to pay attention to this hotel project very, very seriously. I'm sure it was the Secretariat that sent you the information. I also put to you that it's
Honourable
not
Member,
correct.
question, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, $4 million has been committed to the project. Who is monitoring? Who is there for the government of Ghana? Because what they told me last time was the investor, buying equipment and sending them invoice. Somebody should be there who should represent the interests of the government of the Gambia. Who has monitored that this $4 million, in fact, has been committed to this project?
Honourable members, well, let me remind you on the Honourable Minister. Supplementary questions, members, 1 minute. No pine beneath. Honourable Minister, you have only 2 minutes to answer to questions, supplementary questions.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for that. Let me tell you, there is a project steering committee about this particular project, and any spending or proposed spending is sent to the steering committee that sits on it and validates and then returns it back. And if there is need for any other duty waivers, they are also sent to the committee. So it is not that the concessionaire just sit and do things on his or her own. I mean, we have a steering committee, and I think the Honourable Member is aware of this because you were part of the ministry staff and you know this process is very well.
Thank you very much. We will talk about the Honourable Minister because what you told me is very dangerous. Now, the ministry, is your ministry responsible for all government infrastructure portfolios? When will the OIC Secretary hand over this project to your ministry? Because they don't have the capacity to do this project. This project must be handed over to the ministry. When will they hand over this project to the ministry?
Well, as you know, the ministry has an implementing agency, which is the NRA. The NRA, the National Roads Authority, sits on this particular project steering committee. My deputy permanent secretary responsible for technical also sits on it. My director of technical services also sits on it. So therefore, I mean, the ministry is fully involved. That I can assure you.
Honourable Member for Woodley East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, as you know, the OIC Hotel project is a very important project, and Gambians are very concerned about it. You've mentioned that the constructor is going to bring equipment. How soon? Because you just said soon, but how soon would this equipment arrive? Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be very specific to say it is going to be today, tomorrow, or next week, because I know that there are severe disruption to logistics movement all around the world. But I can assure you that we are within the soon period.
Honourable Member for Jesuang.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, I think you may recall during the laying down the foundation stone of the hotel, in which there was a promise, not from government though, but the third party who promised that the work will start the following day, and then there was a time frame given. Hope he will reach his target period, as far as there are still things that are hindering the work currently. His target period, hope he will reach his target period.
Yes, I mean, it is always the wish of the government to see that, projects are implemented within the target periods. But, I mean, sometimes within project implementation mechanisms, you can have
some delays and hitches, which is normal in project implementation, although not desirable.
Honourable Member for Banjul Central.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, pertaining to the question from Wule East, that was actually my initial question. Because when we had our consultation with the OIC head, pertaining to the said equipments that were to be in the country, he actually said, and this was approximately, I would say, a month or so ago, he actually said it would be there in a couple of days. That's what he said, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Well, I was not at the meeting with the OIC executive. What I know is that sometimes time frames can be difficult to meet, especially when it comes to movement of logistics from one country to the other. But really, we are working very hard to see that these things arrive in the Gambia soon, because it's in the interest of everyone.
Honourable Member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much. Honourable Minister, looking at the state of ownership with regards to the land that is being proposed for the hotel to be constructed, what is the state of ownership as we speak? Thank you.
Well,
Point of order, Honourable Speaker.
Yeah, yes?
Yeah.
Honourable nominated member Kevalang Fofana.
Honourable Speaker, I think the issue of ownership of that land is before the courts. So as such, it cannot be an issue to be entertained in Parliament.
Observation?
Honourable Speaker.
Observation, Honourable Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to respond to Honourable nominated member. The matter is not sub judice anymore. The court has made ruling on the matter, so it's not sub judice anymore.
What did he say? Honourable nominated member, you are in agreement that the case is no more in court?
I'm not sure, because what happened is even last week, the Global Homes did summon the IGP and the ministers to the High Court for contempt of what? Court orders. So the issue is still before the courts. It's still before the courts, you know?
Honourable members, what is clear is, if there are issues before the courts, we just put it aside until the court finalizes, and then you can now probe into them.
Honourable Speaker. Honourable
Member for Serekunda West.
Honourable Speaker, I just need a clarity, please.
Speaker, Honourable
Honourable member for Serekunda. Honourable member, just hold on. There is a point of order on, and we're trying to clear it. Honourable member for Serekunda West.
My point is, when a judgment is passed, that case is concluded. If they want to reopen it, that is not before the court. It's concluded. A judgment is made.
Honourable member, are you stating that judgment has been given and the case is not before the courts?
Very well.
Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker.
Honourable member, please sit down.
I have a good knowledge.
Honourable member, please sit down.
I have a good knowledge.
Honourable member, please sit down. Honourable member, you don't just jump up and put your question or do something.
No, I want it to be clear so that we can proceed.
No, if you want it clear, there is a process, honourable member.
Okay, okay.
Please. Honourable Minister, if you can pose the answer, please answer the question.
Well, I think I would like to only touch on the SEER part of the question. I mean, I think if I remember very well, I'm not very sure of this. I think the concessionaire owns 95% and the other 5% owned by the government.
And I'm getting you information that yes, there was ruling on the case, but the case has been appealed. And it's before the courts again.
Honourable Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member for Janjambure.
Yes, I think my question is not really answered as expected, please.
Honourable Member, I've just told you that latest information I have is that there was ruling on the case, but the case had been appealed. Question number 0164 of 2022, Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable Speaker, can the government Honourable Speaker, the government is faced with donor fatigue and heavy loan portfolio, which makes it difficult for the country to attract loans for most of its road projects, resulting in delay of the side of the government to pay several interim payment certificates held by contractors. Could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this august body whether the government intends to finish all the locally funded projects before contracting fresh ones?
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry is indeed prioritizing the ongoing roads projects, as could be evidenced by our 2023 budget submission. Nonetheless, the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure has been and will continue to continue with efforts of resource mobilization beyond the GLF to be able to deliver additional projects whenever the required funding is available.
Very much, no supplementary.
Question number 0165 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Banjul North.
Okay, Honourable Speaker, I was assigned by the member from Banjul North to speak on his behalf. Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So the question reads, Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly if there are any sustainability plans for the Banjul Rehabilitation Roads project?
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the lifespan of concrete roads is 40 to 60 years with minimal maintenance requirements. The issue of sustainability prompted the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure to initiate a design study for the pump house, the implementation of which will ensure adequate evacuation of stormwater and hence avoid future flooding incidents in Banjul. The routine cleaning of sewage and drainage falls under the purviews of the Banjul City Council and NAWEC respectively. As part of this project, dumping and cleaning trucks and equipment will be provided to the Banjul City Council as part of the sustainability efforts. It is also the wish of the Ministry to engage the stakeholders to develop a comprehensive maintenance policy for both the drainage and sewage systems in Banjul. This will be provided by the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure and the National Road Authority.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, for that clarity. However, as pertaining to sustainability, there are other futuristic measures, as we all are aware that Banjul as a capital city is full of dilapidated homes as well. There are also sustainability plans after this project actually in terms of housing, because we are losing our roots as most are opting to go to the combos and other areas and leaving the capital city based on the democratic space, I would say. So there are also other sustainability plans pertaining to housing or I would say any other further developmental initiatives to bolster the commercial space in the capital city, because in any capital city you go, the capital is its commercial base. Thank you.
Honourable Member, petition, 1 minute.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Let me say that the issue of houses actually are not part of the scope of the road project. I mean, we are only tasked with the responsibility of providing the roads and other infrastructure that will make it easy. This is like what I call the core enablers that can also encourage the people of Banjul to invest more in rehabilitating their their existing houses so that people can come back. I mean, I think the road and sewage project has really beautified Banjul. And for your information, we are going to do all the roads now. We are going to cover all the open drains now. So that should encourage people now to come back and then invest on their own houses to rehabilitate them or to even build new ones. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
John, he's just answered my question.
Question number 0166 of 2022, Honourable Member for Nyamina East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the government recently launched a massive road infrastructural projects. However, there are a lot of more roads in the country which require serious and urgent attention. For example, the road in Sinchu Alaji, Pate, connecting to Mahmud Fana, and Kudan Tenda in Nyamina East constituency. Could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly how soon his ministry intends to address the situation of the said roads? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Just as the answer to the previous question, the roads on the southern bank of the River Gambia, we have only Brikamaba to Boiram all the way to Saruja. But these are roads that are earmarked for 2023-2024 on that part of the river, bank of the river. However, on the way forward regarding rural accessibility in general, the government intends to initiate a national roads program covering 1,200 kilometers. 400 kilometers of the national road program has already been conceptualized, and the remaining 800 kilometers will be done in the subsequent months to come. In doing so, the roads in the regions, in the Honourable Speaker, in the constituency of the Honourable Member of Parliament will be considered, and that other roads will be packaged per region, surveyed, designed, costed, and implemented.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. No further supplementary.
Question number 0167 of 2022, Honourable Member for Lower Salu.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure update this August Assembly on the issue on the level of implementation of road safety regulations?
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, there is currently no road safety regulation for the Gambia. Currently, we rely on the Motor Traffic Act for road safety improvement. Going forward, there is the need to enact a National Road Safety Act, which will establish a dedicated body or lead agency for road safety in the Gambia. We have already drafted a cabinet paper in this regard, and hopefully this August Assembly will be presented with a road safety bill before the end of the year 2023. The setting up of a dedicated lead agency for road safety has been found to be the best practice for countries wishing to improve their road safety.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, Minister, for that response. Don't you think, Honourable Speaker, you should fast-track this bill to come to the Parliament? Because, okay.
Yes, we are to present a cabinet paper hopefully before the end of this year, if there is a cabinet sitting in December. If not, then the first cabinet sitting of 2023 will have this cabinet paper. And from there, we will forward the bill through the Attorney General's chambers to the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, fact of the matter is accidents on roads are too much with injuries. Are you having any plan to revitalize the river transport?
Yes, we have plans to revitalize the river transport. Currently, in fact, we have done the needful, and we are cleaning the wreckage You know, the Gambia River is full of shipwrecks, so we are clearing those ones first to be able to have a right of way for any users that want to use the river as a means of transport, alternative to road transport. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Basse.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, can the Honourable Minister tell us whether there are approving measures when it comes to this sleeping police or on the Basse-Banjul Road Highway? Because other sleeping police are very high and they are causing a lot of risks to some of the motorists. So whether there are standards measures which have been applied for approval. Thank
Well,
you.
we have the standard at the ministry which is implemented through the National Roads Authority, the NRA. However, what we have seen is that communities may be out of frustration because of frequent road accidents in their areas, have been erecting these sleeping policemen without due consideration to the standards in place. And this, of course, as you said, is a cause for concern for road users, especially motorists. We are working with the communities concerned to see that we remove them. We had some resistance initially, but now we are using the local structures so that we can now work with them for us to erect them ourselves. Thank you.
Question number 0168 of 2022, Honourable Member for Lower Salum.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I want to withdraw this question because taking note, and again there is a good services in my constituency. I withdraw it.
Question number 0169 of 2022, Honourable Member for Bunduga Kunda.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Could the Honourable Minister inform the August Assembly whether his ministry has any monitoring mechanism in place to monitor and evaluate the condition and lifespan of the Denton Bridge? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the Denton Bridge was constructed in 1995 with a design lifespan of 50 years. The National Road Authority, in collaboration with UNOPS, in 2018 conducted a nationwide bridge inventory and condition survey whereby the bridge's sub- and substructures were checked and surveyed for defects and effects of axle loading. The finding indicates that the bridge in question, which is the Denton Bridge, is in a good shape and it is still within its design lifespan. However, the National Road Authority, through a directive from the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, will conduct another bridge inspection on the Denton Bridge.
Yes, I have another supplementary question. Yes, do you have any plan to replace the barriers? Because currently, if you are passing, you can see the railings, getting rusty, and it's not safe for these fishermen who normally do fishing around that end. Please, thank you.
Yeah, we in fact, we have already had a meeting on this, and hopefully we will repaint them again before the end of this year. We have started repainting all the barriers on the bridges. If you can see the Kotu one, this Kalaji, and also we'll be going to Denton Bridge and the one in Kerawan.
No, what I mean,
Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much. Yet done.
Okay,
no,
you still have one. Okay.
Yes, I mean the railings, they are getting rusty. Currently, when you are passing, there is an end where, in fact, it has already been broken.
Yeah, well, we can replace that one, but the rusty nature of the railings is not necessarily that they are not, good. I mean, sometimes because, you need to repaint it again. And that's what we have been doing with all the bridges. But any part that actually has a defect issue, that will be changed, definitely.
Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm sure even yesterday I was talking about the railings, but thank God the Honourable Member mentioned that. So, Honourable Minister, when the team goes to inspect this, because I remember when we came back 2012, some of us, we went to that bridge and we advised that the bridge was sinking. No, Banjul itself as a city is sinking. So whether they look at the substructure, the footings, because what you said just right now, probably if they look at that, that bridge will also require more maintenance again. Because if you look at the vehicles in and out of Banjul, it's increasing. So what mechanisms are in place to make sure that these maintenance are very, very frequent? Thank you very much.
Well, the National Road Authority has a maintenance schedule and plan that they conduct frequently on the bridges. But what you say, if you have a study report on that, please make it available to the ministry so that it can be looked at in line with the current design maintenance works that we are doing.
Honourable Member for Sani Mentere.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, having seen sand mining, which is not very far from the bridge, could you tell us whether it will not affect the bridge? Thank you.
Well, I don't want to speak on that matter yet because our government has commissioned an interministerial committee on this that is currently discussing it. If I say anything, it can also prejudice that ongoing work, or it may be a kind of a disservice to whatever they are doing right now. So we'll wait until they conclude. There are a lot of stories out there which we need to verify scientifically before we can say anything.
Honourable Member for Joshua.
Honourable Speaker, I think the Minister has just made mention of it, that he cannot say much about it, but it was the same question with regards to the sand mining.
Honourable Member for Banjul Central.
Honourable Speaker, I withdraw my question. Thank you.
Honourable for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. That's my question too, but having heard from Member for Larikunda Sabiji, you know, he's an expert, so I want the Honourable Minister to look at that very carefully.
Question number 0170 of 2022, Member for Bundunga Kundage.
Thank you very much once again, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister of Works, Transport, Infrastructure inform the August Assembly whether his ministry has a plan to decongest traffic around the Westfield area along the Brikama Highway? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the construction of the new OIC roads projects will significantly decongest traffic and reduce vehicular operating costs and travel time along the Westfield-Brikama corridor. However, the only effort that can improve the issue of congestion around the Westfield area will be the construction of the proposed Stinkona-Mandina bypass, which will create an alternative toll route for vehicles traveling towards the Brikama Highway. This initiative was part of the NDP 2018 to 2022, and it is still being pursued by the government of the Gambia.
Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, you made mention of the OIC projects being put in place to decongest the Westfield traffic. The last time we visited, 10 months elapsed and 2%, less than 2% contractual progress. How many percentage progress with those roads now?
That looks like a new question, but
indeed it is. Indeed it is.
I can assure you we are getting to 6 now.
Yeah, you know, people can play just like Maradona. They can dribble. Honourable Member for Lower Salum.
Thank you, Honourable. I'm coming also on this OIC road. When do you think the Stinkona road will be constructed? And how and when?
Honourable Speaker, what we are doing right now is to receive letters of interest from various investors that are interested in doing that road. The government of the Gambia, through the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, and the Central Bank of the Gambia are also coming up with a very interesting scheme so that, we can construct it on a PPP basis, and then, a toll will be put there so that anybody that uses it will pay a minimal fee for the sustenance of that road, and that will help decongest some of these areas.
Honourable Member for Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you so very much. Honourable Minister, this is a burning issue, as we all know. How soon will your ministry be able to address this burning issue, please? Which traffic jam in the road that he's talking about?
Which burning issue, Honourable Member?
The traffic jam that the parent question is addressing.
The traffic jam in Westfield. Yeah, that's, well, Honourable Member, what we can do is to provide road infrastructure. What we have witnessed in the Gambia is the more roads you build, the more people will also buy vehicles. So I think as part of the traffic control mechanisms that we are going to implement very soon is to create as much as possible many one-ways so that, this will ensure that at particular time, peak time, you will have more vehicles moving at one direction, because in the Gambia, in the mornings, everybody leads to Banjul. In the evenings, they lead to this other side. So, this is part of the traffic management measures that we are doing. Even without a road, this is one important measure that we are going to put in place to help ease the traffic congestion on some of these routes.
Honourable Member for Banjul Central.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, you made mention of finding alternatives pertaining to this burning issue. Can you please give us a technical, maybe outlook or view as pertaining to how exactly that can be done regarding the Sting Corner area?
Sting Corner bypass.
Yeah, the bypass. Yeah.
Well,
as an alternative. Yeah.
We have already identified the route, which will be behind the Joswangs. From Sting Corner coming all the way to Abuko, and then behind Abuko also all the way to Mandinaring going all the way to Bafuloto, Brikama, all the way to Mandina Ba. The important reason for this is most of the goods that are destined for third countries will spend nearly 2 hours in the traffic. Now they'll be using that so that they can have access to the customers' corridor. And that is why this road is very critical for us.
Question number 0171 of 2022, Honourable Member for Jeswang.
Thank you very much. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister tell this August Assembly what plan does his ministry have to construct the routes that connect Ibo Town, New Joshua, starting from the main highway to Badala and Sankunsila? All these roads are in bad conditions and need urgent attention.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the road linking the mobile traffic Sankunsila will be constructed as part of the OIC projects. In this vein, the link between Ibo Town and Joswang will be partly constructed under the same project. Meanwhile, the National Road Authority has plans to construct key urban roads to act as major alternative routes for the distribution of traffic flow between the communities and mainland Serakunda, and this road in question will be considered as part of this initiative.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. With regards to this OIC project, as you rightly mentioned, currently there is notice being given to those people living in that area. At first there were 2 sites that were marked, but currently it has changed. Are you factoring those affected people that most of them, almost 90% of their compounds are going to this road project? What are your plans, either to take it back to the old system or this current one?
No, we have done a redesign because in that particular area is heavily populated. What we have done now is to do a new design scope that will put into consideration in certain areas the narrowing of the drainage system to ensure that we don't actually go deep into the affected compounds. So this is one of the things that we are doing. And this has been submitted to the consultant and it is being reviewed.
Yeah, Honourable Minister, currently they are served notice for this 14th of this month. And therefore yesterday I had a meeting with them. I think it's important for you to allow the relevant authority to put a hold to it, because currently they are desperate and they are confused.
Well, this is normal, Honourable. As a contractor yourself, you know, because when we are doing the planning and we know that your compound will be affected, we give you advance notice so that you know that at the right time when the demolitions will start, your compound will be affected. But beyond that, we also give them consent forms for them to sign and then ensure that, you know, I mean, when these things start, there is not major controversy. But beyond that, Honourable Speaker, if you may allow me, we have presented a budget, and this also includes demolition cost. And we indulge the support of the National Assembly so that, you know, we can have these funds and then, you know, do this demolition so that people can be paid even before we do the demolition exercises. That I think will reduce all these controversies.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, as you know, there is a mention of Sankunsila. But we all know that Bundung Road definitely supports Sankunsila Road for the congestion. But Bundung right now is dilapidated.
Honourable Speaker.
What effort is the ministry doing to ensure that we rehabilitate the Bundung Highway so that it can support the Sankunsila, so that that connection can be done? Thank you.
Yes. Honourable Speaker. Point of order.
You rise up for something. Yes. Are you putting a point of order?
Yes.
Or you are making you say that?
Yes. May I observe the member, please?
Honourable members, if you want to make an observation, that is not my prerogative. This is the prerogative of the man speaking, the member speaking.
Point of order.
If he sits down, you go ahead. If he does not, you sit down and leave and let him go.
Honourable Speaker, just for the information of the Honourable Member, we have already started that road. On Monday, we've leveled already the side road so that, you know, the Bundung main highway can be done. And I want to thank the Honourable Member of Parliament for Bundung Kakunda for the support. We were with him during the weekend, and all the areas that have to be done have been identified, and we have started work there since Monday, and I've seen that he posted something on Facebook about it. Thank you so much for that.
Question number 0172 for 2022, Honourable Member for Jeswang.
Thank you very much. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister tell this August Assembly what plan does his ministry have to construct the roads that connect Kanifing South and Pipeline behind the French school?
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Speaker, the National Road Authority has plans to construct key urban roads to act as major alternative routes for the distribution of traffic flow between these communities and mainland Serakunda. This will also be considered to complement the OIC roads.
Honourable Speaker, Honourable Minister, with regards to the construction, hope there are any plans to provide them with gutters, as far as they are also a key. Yes, gutters here.
Yes, okay, yes. Yes, all roads that we are doing now in the greater Banjul area will go along with a drainage facility that will actually be used to carry the storm water to, outside of these areas. And for your information also, we have finalized the document on the greater Banjul area drainage facility, and we are looking for funds for that. That will ensure that throughout the greater Banjul area, we put in drainage facilities across.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister for Works, Transport, Works and Infrastructure. for taking time to ably answer all the questions posed. And you were kind enough to add more information to clarify members' doubts who pose supplementary questions. Thank you very much with your technical backup. Clerk, can we proceed?
Questions for oral answer by the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy.
Thank you. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy by Honourable members for oral answers. Honourable Minister is invited. Honourable Minister, it should be noted that questions for the last session, September session, were brought forward, and the ones for this session added. That's why the list is so long. We begin with question number 0156 of 2022, Honourable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the government, through the President, promised the people of Sami electricity by the year 2023. Could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy provide for the information of this August Assembly the names of the villages that are supposed to benefit from the said electricity project in Sami?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Under the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project, Backbone Phase 1, 39 communities in the Sami constituency will benefit, and they include Dobo, Changai Tukulor, Changai Wolof, Sinchu Baya, Sami Pak Koki, Sinchu Dura, Sami Tenda, Kibiri, Tankong, Jalo Koto, Jaleng Seni, Jaleng Jaube, Sami Surua Kunda, Fiti Fula, Fiti Wolof, and Sami Jalube, Tande Mandinka, Tande Bara, Tande Wolof, Sami Medina, Sami Omar Jula, Ban Talayel, Dem Faye, Yuma, Bani, Jamajen, Tipa, Demba Kali, Jaga, Demba Kali, Karantaba, Bantang Koto, Karantaba Tukulo, Kunting, Bustown, Tony Taba, Cecily, Karantaba $10, Karantaba Tabokoto, Karantaba Du Tukoto, Karantaba Wolof, and Sari Jata. Those are the communities that will be electrified at the Sami constituency under the Backbone Phase 1.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Minister, can you raise your voice a little bit? Hansard people are worried that they are recording. Yes, go ahead, Honourable Member.
Very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, you have stated that 39 communities. What about the remaining villages? When are they supposed to have?
Thank you very much. These are the Phase 1 project, and we have Phase 2 under the JAM project. We've also directed the National Water and Electricity Company to provide us with a comprehensive list identifying all the communities in each constituency in the country and tell us which ones are electrified by the ongoing projects and which ones are currently electrified, so that we can identify the gaps, and any gap that is any of the communities that are not electrified by any of the ongoing projects, then we will be able to develop additional projects to make sure that they are electrified. In order to meet the government's objective of providing universal electricity access by 2025.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, will there be any compensation for those lands that are affected?
What I can say is all of these projects which are financed by the World Bank, the environmental and social aspect is very fundamental, and the World Bank will not allow any of these projects to commence without the people that are affected by the projects called parts are compensated. And I can comfortably tell you that prior to the commencement of the project for these communities, all of them were compensated. That's the information that we have been provided with, because without the compensation, the commencement, no objection will not be given by the bank for the works to start. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Lower Salum.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. This phase one, are you in a position to tell us whether the project has been started or not? And if at all, yes, how soon it will be started?
No, I think if you go to the area, you will see that some of the villages have already, the poles have been erected and the lines have been struck. And also, along the route, you will see the medium voltage poles also been erected. So the contractor is on the ground, he's doing his work, and the consultant, together with the project implementation unit, are following, as well as the ministry. I can inform this August gathering that my ministry, on a monthly basis, sit NAWEC, and each of the projects, the project managers will report directly to me to tell me the progress of each of these projects that they are implementing on behalf of the government. Thank you.
Question number 057 of 2022, member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy update this August Assembly on the rural electrification project in the URR, the northern part especially? Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project, called the JAM Backbone Phase 2, will electrify 165 communities in the URR, 62 in the URR North, and 103 communities are in the URR South. The construction works was signed in May 2022, and the contract became effective on the 11th of October 2022, following receipt by the contractor of the advance payment. So the contractor has mobilized as of last month, and he is doing the detailed engineering and survey works, as well as procurement activities. And we are hopeful that in the towards the second quarter of next year, actual implementation or installation works will commence on the ground. Thank you.
Any supplementary? Yes, Honourable Member for Lower Salum.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I will use this word, the rural electrification project. In Lower Salum, there are gaps and all of the
Honourable Member, read the question. Upper River region, especially the northern part, you cannot relate it. Question number 058 of 2022 by the Honourable Member for Fonyi Brefet.
Yes, thank you. The Honourable Member is out. I am authorized to read on her behalf.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The question is as follows. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister of Petroleum, Energy tell this August Assembly how soon his ministry intends to provide electricity supply to the villages of Jajin and Jalokoto on the highway, Ndemban Jola to Kanjabina in the interior, where who were opted in the first phase, omitted on the first phase for the rural electrification project?
Honourable Speaker, the villages of Jalokoto and Ndemban will be electrified under the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project, which is funded by the World Bank through a grant. The works contract was signed in May of last year, and the contract became effective December 2021 for a period of 24 months. The contractor is actually carrying out the survey, the engineering design works, the procurement activities. And once these are approved by the consultant, the independent consultant who is monitoring and supervising the works, the installation works are expected to start very soon. Although the village of Jali and Dembanjola to Kajabina are not part of the ECORI project, the ministry, my ministry, and in collaboration in NAWEC, is in the process of developing, as I said earlier, additional projects to electrify all these areas in line with government's objective to achieve universal access by 2025. The ECORI project, which is funded, is a regional project funded by the World Bank and housed by the ECOWAS Commission, has identified certain communities. But we recognize that all of these ongoing projects are not going to cover all the communities in the country. So hence the reason we've asked NAWEC to give us a baseline data for us to be able to pinpoint the gaps. And those gaps will now give us the opportunity to approach development partners. Some of the projects we will be able to do internally, as we have done in some of the communities in a community in CRR, where we provided them with home solar systems. It's not that the electrification is only through running lines, but we can also provide solar systems as well as mini-grids and other methods of electrifying our communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, as I may put it to you, the Ndemban Jola end, there is a military base around that end. They live in the darkness, secure in the darkness. We're told that they followed the NAWEC and the Ministry about electrification poles around this end. Are you aware? If so, how far urgency of that military base?
No, I'm not specifically aware of that, but the objective of the ministry is to electrify all the communities in the country, and that's the objective, and we intend to pursue it vigorously. Thank you.
Thank you. No further question.
Question number 059 of 2022, Honourable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, can the Minister of and the Honourable Minister of Petroleum, Energy inform this August Assembly what causes the Gambia-Petroleum oil split at Mandinari and what steps were taken to mitigate the impact on the environment as well as to prevent its reoccurrence? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Let me respond this way. I will put the oil spill in inverted commas. You know, and in my response, you understand why. You know, this oil spill at Mandinari, Gambia-Petroleum depot, was caused by the escape of HFO, which is the heavy fuel oil, during a vessel discharge on the 28th of May 2022 through a hole that was later discovered on the underwater pipeline, because there are pipes from the mooring place where the vessels dock and pump the oil through underwater pipes to the tanks. And there was a small hole, and that the heavy fuel oil escaped from the hole. And when it was discovered, the Gambia-Petroleum aborted the discharge and started the repair of the pipeline. But obviously, because there was a hole, you know, certain HFO escaped and started flowing because the water is heavier than the HFO, it started flowing. But the extent of the spillage, so-called, was not as massive as it was reported. But there was, you know, escape of heavy fuel. Then the next day, under the leadership of the NEA, a multi-task force was set up to coordinate and implement an intensive cleaning exercise around the area, and including some of the swamps where the spill HFO drifted. Pura, who is the regulator of the petroleum sector, is ensuring that Gambia-Petroleum develop an environmental management plan to prevent the reoccurrence of such an occurrence. I'm pleased to report that the Gambia-Petroleum have actually replaced, as of today, all the discharge pipes at the facility from the mooring place to the tanks with new ones. So, and we are hopeful that such things will not happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. No further.
Honourable Member for Serekunda West.
Could the Honourable Minister tell us how much does this spillage cost government?
I don't understand. What do you mean, cost government in terms of what?
What I mean exactly is this oil is paid for and it never delivered. It went into the sea. Somebody must have paid foot that cost.
Yeah, but the oil, if it doesn't get to the tank, it's not paid for. It's the loss of the supplier. Yeah, but that's why I'm responding.
Question number 060.
Honourable, I raise my tag. And we are only two. Please.
Honourable Member for Basse.
Thank you, Speaker. Honourable Minister, what are your plans in introducing the risk management department at Petroleum in order to be at least looking at the risk exposures to report to management for avoiding the occurrence of that spillage? Because it is a total loss and it has to cost the government in compensating the owner or the importer of that oil. So what are the mechanisms or plans putting up a risk management in that institution? Because we realize Petroleum doesn't have risk management and there is nobody who is taking the responsibility in exposing.
Honourable Member, put your question.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Let me clarify that Petroleum is not owned by the government of the Gambia. Petroleum is a private limited liability company, but you have public SOEs that have a share in Petroleum, but Petroleum is not under my ministry. It's a private company. Now, they are regulated by PURA. We issue the storage license. The minister issued the storage license in accordance with the Petroleum Product Act of 2016. So PURA, as well as the national environment agencies, are mandated to ensure that they comply with all necessary regulations with respect to environment and other storage-related issues. So, and as I said, before, Petroleum was not licensed. After the incident in 2021, last year, then the circumstances forced that they be licensed in accordance with the Act. So now, there is a regulation, they are bound by the law, and they will have to comply with the law. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, the spillage that occurred at Mandinari, has that got anything to do with Gambia's inability to import fuel directly from the sources instead of from Senegal, which is costing us a lot of money? Thank you.
I'm not sure what you are talking about. You know, are you saying that Gambia imports from Senegal?
Importing fuel from Senegal, which is costing us about $120 million. You are not aware of that?
That is news to me. Yes. Gambia imports fuel from Senegal? No. What I know is Gambia imports fuel from the international market. The fuel that we use is imported from the fuel international market. I mean, that we have international traders that are, you know, big four. You have Trafigura, you have ADAX, you have PSTV, and then you have Vitol. These are the big four international fuel traders that come and dump their fuel in the depots here. So I don't know who says that we import fuel from Senegal. I mean, the HFO that we use is brought here through a contract between NAWEC and a supplier, which is brought by PSTV. That is not from Senegal. This is from the international market. But what I do know is sometimes when there is a delay in the arrival of a vessel, some of the importers who have the contact, you know, will apply for overland importation. And that overland importation, they take the fuel from Senegal, but it is in Senegal, it is the same international traders that dump the fuel in Senegal, just like they do in Lomé. So I don't know, you know, we don't import our fuel from Senegal.
Question number 060 of 2022, Honourable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for coming to Parliament to answer our questions. Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy inform this August Assembly when his ministry intends to electrify the following communities in Jara Central? These communities are as follows, Honourable Speaker: Buiba Jallokunda, Buiba Sanikoli, Buiba Mandinka, Buiba Musa Njado, Sare Seidi, Forea Fula, Forea Medina, Sasita Toranka, Medina Sasita, Digante, Sare Bulli, Jobu Kunda, Sare Kifa, Fololo, Badume Koto, Badume Kuta, Kanuma, Sare Jama, Sare Omar, Suluko, and Minna. Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Member, the above villages that you mentioned are covered under the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. And this project will provide electricity to 298 communities, last mile, meaning that they will be connected, you know, and provided with service poles and service cables and the meters, all paid for by the project. So works contract, as I said, has already been signed. The contractor has mobilized and is doing his engineering design, survey works, procurement, and the installation works will commence in the new year. So all of these communities will be covered. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. So, Honourable Minister, are you saying that all these 21 communities that I have mentioned would be covered by the time or the period you have mentioned just now? Thank you.
Absolutely 100%, because these are, as I said, communities that fall under the project scope, and the construction works will start early next year. The contract is for a period of 24 months. It became effective last year, and almost 47.2% of the time has elapsed, and then work is in progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I have not other issues. Thank you.
Question number 0161 of 2022, Honourable Member for Basse.
Honourable Minister, could the Honourable Minister tell the August Assembly what plans are available for his ministry to resolve the water shortage in Basse layout and the satellite villages?
Honourable Speaker, as part of NAWEC's medium and long-term plans, they are developing a water master plan which is aimed at addressing the water supply problems nationwide, including Basse. At present, NAWEC making efforts in collaboration with our traditional financial partners for possible intervention in the short term in these growth centers. I visited the provincial water facilities, I think last month, with the MD of NAWEC and his team, and we saw the need for them to enhance the operational efficiency. This is something that can be done short term. But in terms of addressing the water shortage on a holistic basis, it requires investment. And those investments are things that NAWEC is working on, with under the leadership of the ministry, to make sure that we put bankable project proposal before the financial partners for possible funding.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. No other question.
Question number 062 of 2022, Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for coming. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy inform this August Assembly what measures are in place to address the water pressure problem experienced by residents in Abuko, Latrikunda, and Fajikunda, who continue to suffer on a daily basis and sometimes for weeks without droplet of water from their taps?
Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. As we are aware, Honourable Member, there has been unprecedented urbanization and population growth, and the infrastructure remains the same. The water infrastructure hasn't increased in tandem with that growth rate. So as we speak today, the water demand outpaces the supply capacity, and that's a fact. Now, major investments are required to upgrade and modernize and expand the water supply infrastructure nationwide, especially in the GBA, where we have witnessed this urbanization, population growth, and infrastructural development. What I can report to you is that the government of the Gambia has secured funding from the World Bank, the AFD, and the OIC Secretariat to carry out the most urgent infrastructural works to improve the supply capacity. In the meantime, NAWEC is also continuing to work on its water production, transmission, and distribution network to improve the water pressure in the system. There is also something that affects the water supply, is also the consistency and the stability of the electricity supply. Whenever the supply is unstable, it affects the production capacity of NAWEC. But in recent times, there has been some massive effort to make sure that we stabilize the electricity supply situation, and hence it will have impact on the water. So we are confident that with all of these, the supply situation, especially in the Latrikunda area, Fajikunda, Abuko, will be ameliorated. But there is also one important thing that we have to mention, is that in most of those areas, you have pipes that polythene tubes that have been laid and run 200 meters, 300 meters diameter of half an inch or 1 inch. And, they don't have, 100 millimeters, 150 pipes or 200. And in these polythene tubes, you have people maybe serving me, now 20, 30 people connected. And there is no way that, you will have water. So that is why NAWEC has identified so that these areas, they will put distribution pipes to be able to evacuate the water and try to connect people in these big pipes with large volumes of water. But with the small pipes, it's a problem. It is in the same in the Bunung area, in the Bohol 9 area, all of these areas, which is Fajikunda, is a problem. It requires investment, and these investments, I'm happy to say that for the AFD, they've just given the government of the Gambia about 29 million euro as a grant to be able for NAWEC to be able to do their expansions in terms of production, transmission, and the distribution network.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for that wonderful response. I don't know whether NAWEC has any plan to decouple water and electricity supply.
What do you mean, decouple, in terms of the institutional governance?
In terms of institutions, exactly, so that there can be an institution purposely for water, and there could be an institution purposely for electricity, instead of NAWEC covering all of them. Thank you.
What I can say is the Millennium Challenge account. We have the Millennium Challenge Corporation. This is something that the government is looking at. And under the Millennium Challenge account, it is one of the issues that a consultant will look at to see the benefits and the advantages and the disadvantages. Because I don't want to preempt the outcome of the study, but there are other places where they deregulated, now they are re-regulating. Because there is always a complementarity and a benefit in this country, given the size, to just say that decouple. Decouple. The issue is not to decouple or uncouple. That is something that we'll find out the consultant to do. But the issue is the investment. If you decouple and you don't have the necessary investment, it's not gonna change anything. So it's investment and more investment in infrastructure so that you and I will continue to have water and electricity, on a consistent 24-hour basis. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have no further question.
Honourable Minister, time limit. Supplementary answers 2 minutes maximum. Member.
Any further question? Thank you.
Honourable Member for Woodley East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the question is lack of pressure, and these communities are suffering, and these are very big communities. So how soon would this project that you are talking about take off so that these people, their problem can be ameliorated? These are very big communities, 3 big communities suffering from water.
Yeah, the project is, there are immediate short-term improvements which NAWEC is actually doing. And in terms of the implementation of the project, the technical assistance who is supporting NAWEC, is already on the ground for the AFD project and also for the World Bank project. So work is in progress.
Honourable Member for Bunduakunda.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Yes, to the Honourable Minister, as you said, the capacity of the demand for water is too much. But what mechanism do you have temporarily to give the service to people who already have installed their standpipe and they are not getting water. Because normally, I think this community still now is just low pressure of water. So whether there is any alternative that NAWEC can do to at least give them water. Thank you.
Yeah, as I said, there are operational efficiency increase, which is the first step to see how, water can be remodeled and redirected. And NAWEC is in the process of doing that. And we're hopeful that, things will improve, because some of the areas have started seeing water flow.
Kobo East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister make a clarity here? Since it has been identified that the pipes that have been fixed could be minimal pipes that could not support the pressure to reach out to people, and yet still NAWEC is continuing making connections with the same pipe size to people to experience it. What has your ministry had to put onto NAWEC to make sure these things are regularized, since it has been identified?
As a former staff of NAWEC and a former director at the Water Division, I don't believe that it's NAWEC policy to connect anybody on a 1-inch pipe or 3/4 pipe. The connections are from the main pipe.
Question number 063 of 2022, Honourable Member for Jokadu.
Is out.
He has authorized Jara Central, and Jara Central also is out. We now move to question number 064 of 2022, Honourable Member for Kiang Central.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy explain to this August Assembly what plans has his ministry have to provide electricity to the people, to the residents of Kiang Central, especially Kabada, and its environs at the soonest possible time?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I'm pleased to inform that Bumari, Nema, Kuta, Bam, Bako, Giraffe, and Nema Kuta are currently being electrified under the Electricity Expansion Project Phase 2, which is financed by the Indian government, and the contractor is expected to complete the works the end of December. Additional communities in Kiang Central, including Kabada, will be covered under the ECOWAS Electricity Access Regional Project, which is under implementation.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Can you name me the villages that are to benefit from that project now? Thank you.
I cannot give you the entire list because it's a very long list, but I can provide you with a copy of the villages.
Thank you very much.
Question number 065 of 2022, Honourable Member for Lower Badibu.
Yes, Honourable Speaker. He authorized me to read it on his behalf.
Who is speaking?
Honourable Member for Nyani.
Honourable Member for Nyani.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy tell this August Assembly when would the Minister provide electricity to the northern part of Lower Badibu?
Honourable Speaker, the northern part of the lower Badibu will be electrified under the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. The works contract is already signed. The contractor is mobilized, doing his engineering and detailed studies and procurement. Actual construction works are expected to start next year.
Thank you. There is no further question.
Question number 066 of 2022, Honourable Member for Kiang Central.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Could the Honourable Minister explain if and when the Ministry plans to provide the people of Kiang Central and their livestock with clean drinking water?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Kiang Central does not fall under NAWEC's water supply coverage area. NAWEC provides water supply to urban, peri-urban, and major provincial centers. The Department of Water Resources is responsible for providing rural communities, with water supply under their rural water supply programs.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Question number 067 of 2022, Honourable Member for Woodley West.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Considering the importance of electricity, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy inform this August Assembly if and when the Ministry plans to electrify local communities in Woodley West?
Honourable Speaker, Woodley West will be electrified under the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project Backbone Phase 2. The JAM will electrify 165 communities in the URR, 62 in URR North, and 103 in URR South. As I explained earlier, the construction work was signed and it became effective on the 11th of October. The contractor is mobilized and works will start following the approval of his designs and survey work and the procurement of materials. We expect the work to be completed completely in 2024. The whole communities will be completed because that's the construction period, the contract period for the construction works.
Question number 068 of 2022, Honourable Member for Ileasa. Ileasa? Honourable members, we now move to questions for this session. The questions we dealt with were for the questions posed during the September period. Honourable, yes, Honourable Member for... Honourable, take your floor.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I would just like to appeal to you because the question number 063 I was authorized to read that on behalf of the member for Jokado, but I had an issue to settle outside. My car was parked in front of another car, so I went to remove that car there.
Yeah, Honourable Member, we continue until we finish probably.
Okay, thank you.
Question number 0176 of 2022, Honourable Member for Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy update this August Assembly on on the involvement of the Australian oil company FAR and Malaysian Petronas in the drilling of oil wells in the Gambia, as well as the funds generated from the license fee?
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'll give a background. First, in 2017, Eden, which was the original license holder, farmed out 80% of its participating interest in the Block A2 and A5 license to FAR. In June 2018, FAR also farmed out 40% of its 80% shares to Petronas. The joint venture were required to drill an exploration well by 2018, and accordingly in October, November, they drilled the Samo #1 well at a cost of in excess of 25 million, and they paid a total license fee of about 10 million to the government of the Gambia. Following the joint venture's fulfillment of their initial exploration period obligation in 2019, a new license with clear terms, including the requirement to drill another exploration well, was granted to FAR and Petronas with an initial period of 3 years ending in September 2022. The joint venture again fulfilled their obligation at a cost of over 60 million by drilling Bamboo well #1 in November-December 2021. Bamboo well #1 and Sano did not find oil in commercial quantities. However, it provided further useful understanding of the geology and confirming a working petroleum system. After drilling 2 unsuccessful wells in a relatively small superficial area within a time span of 3 years, Petronas has withdrawn from this license. However, FAR have elected to enter the first extension exploration period and are currently undertaking further studies on the region, as well as looking for partners. The license payments normally are bonus payments, surface rental, and training and resources. A total of 9.5 million was paid to the government during the period 2019 to 2022. So the rental and bonuses were transferred to the National Treasury, whilst the training and resources is used to support the development of the petroleum sector, support capacity building for the sector and relevant stakeholders, provide assistance on the activities upstream of key stakeholders like the Ministry, the Petroleum Commission, and the GNPC. We also fund training and relevant education of citizens and staff and stakeholder institutions in different fields in the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, you talked about withdrawal of Petronas from drilling. What was the reason behind their withdrawal?
I mean, they were partners to FAR in this license, and you know, the fact that they spend their money to drill exploration well and did not find any oil, so it's their prerogative. They decided that they don't want to extend, they want to withdraw.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
I have a second supplementary, Honourable Speaker.
Ahead, Honourable Member.
Honourable Minister, according to reliable sources, $50 million was paid to government for license fee by FAR and Petronas. What will you say to that?
I have absolutely nothing to say about that. What I can say is what I have been presented by the relevant government entities, and that is what I have reported.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the Minister mentioned 9.5 million, but did not say whether it is in dollars or it is in dollars. So can you clarify whether it is in dollars or it is in dollars?
$9.5 million.
Question number 0177 of 2022, Honourable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Yes, thank you very much. As the same thing, she has directed me to read on her behalf. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum Energy commit to provide a solar street light for the 14 villages in Fonyi Benefit constituency? And if so, when? Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, street lights are normally incorporated as part of road projects, and providing street lights in communities are the responsibility of the area councils. However, some of NAWEC's electricity access projects includes installation of street lights, and the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy is also exploring support from partners to roll out solar street lights in the country.
Thank you. No further.
Question number 0178 of 2022, Honourable Member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for coming. Honourable Speaker, would the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy tell this August Assembly when will the villages of Kanikunda, Kohel, Sarabiran, Fonkoekunda, and Sinchue, all part of Jara West, will be electrified? Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, these mentioned villages are on the list of the additional villages to be considered under the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. We're expecting to have an addendum in the existing contract which will be proposed after the design of the main contract, and that will be subjected to the availability of the remaining funds. But what I can add is this: any of the communities throughout the length and breadth of the Gambia which is not covered by any of the ongoing projects, we are in the process of developing additional projects to be submitted to the development partners so that we can have total and absolute coverage of electricity coverage in the country.
Honourable Minister, I don't know if you are aware, there is a settlement between Soma and Kanikunda, and then these people have been crying for electricity, and they are very, very close to the OMVG substation in Soma. Also, there are villages besides, like Sarasedi and Daru, around Kohel. And Sarabiran also, the electricity have passed them, going to the border villages, left Sarabiran in the middle. They have been seeing the wires have been transferred to the border villages for almost 8 years now. They didn't have light. What are your plans on that?
We will consult with NAWEC. I will, from here, you can provide me with the specific list, and then from this session, I'll be delighted to look into it with NAWEC.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister.
Question number 0179 of 2022, Honourable Member for Central Badibu. Question number 0180 of 2022, Honourable Member for Tumanna.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Energy and Petroleum tell this August Assembly of his ministry's plan to connect the proposed beneficiaries and communities that were surveyed in Tumanna constituency as part of rural electrification project? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. As I indicated earlier, all the communities in URR are covered under the JAM, which is the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project Phase 2. And the contract has been signed and it became effective in October. The contractor has mobilized and is doing the survey work in terms of the network, doing the engineering design, and carrying out the procurement. Once the various approvals are going by the consultant, the installation work will start on the ground, and that will start sometime in the coming year.
Okay, thank you very much. If, Honourable Minister, if you can provide the list of the beneficiary communities in my constituency, please.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Question number 0181 of 2022. Honourable Member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy tell this August Assembly whether his ministry has any plan to extend the rural electrification project to Fonyi Bintang area?
Honourable Speaker, communities in Fonyi Bintang are to be electrified under the EcoRIP project, that is the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. The contract has been signed, effective, and the contractor is doing the design work, engineering works, survey, procurement, and the actual construction works will start very soon after the approval of his designs.
How soon can we hope for?
As soon as possible.
When I say how soon, I am referring to number of months, years, or decade.
What I can say is the project duration is 24 months from time of effectiveness to completion. So if you calculate December effectiveness 24 months, it will be December 2023. So before 2023, the project should be completed. Okay?
Question number 0182 of 2022, Honourable Member for Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you so very much. Honourable Speaker, only 2 villages in Fonyi Bondali constituency are electrified out of 36 villages. Could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy explain to this August Assembly his ministry's plan to extend water and electricity projects to the rest of the communities in the constituency?
Honourable Speaker, as I said earlier, the communities in Fonyi Bondali are to be electrified under the EcoRIP project. For the water supply, NAWEC does not have water supply infrastructure in Fonyi Bondali, and that falls under the premise of the Department of Water Resources. Thank you.
Can you provide us a document on the beneficiary, on the villages that may benefit from this electric supply?
Sure.
Rest my case.
Question number. Okay, Honourable Member for.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, according to the main question, 2 villages from Fonyi Bondali constituency are benefiting electricity out of 36 villages. What were the criteria used to qualify those 2 and 34 is yet to benefit out of?
I don't know, because I don't know when they were electrified, but the fact of the matter, as his question indicated, is that 2 out of 36 were electrified. This electrification took place before. You know, there was a West Coast, I can remember, electrification of the West Coast region that was done in the former government under the former managing director of NAWEC. Maybe it was during that time. So now we are talking about the present tense, you know, and the fact is, only as he said, there are 36, 2 are electrified, so the 34 are going to be electrified under the EcoRIP project.
Question number 0183 of 2022, Honourable Member for Upper Salum. Question number 0184 of 2022, Honourable Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, families in the Greater Banjul area, including major referral hospitals, mainly Kanifing and Banjul Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, struggle with water supply. Could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy tell this August Assembly if the Ministry is aware of the water shortage in these areas?
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Yes, we are aware of the water shortages, and something is being done in terms of upgrading, renewing, rehabilitating, and expanding the water supply infrastructure to meet the demand. And these investments are ongoing. With regards to the Kanifing Hospital, NAWEC has informed the Ministry that it is not aware of water shortage in the hospital. According to NAWEC, they contacted the hospital administrations who confirmed that the water shortage has been experienced within the hospital in the past. Nevertheless, who confirmed that water shortage has not been experienced within the hospital in the recent past. Nevertheless, my ministry will continue to monitor the situation, and should any water shortage is experienced, NAWEC will be instructed to take immediate corrective actions.
I have a supplementary question. So how about the situation at the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital? We are told that they are struggling with water supply.
I have heard about that, but I don't have the details. I will find out from NAWEC to provide me with the update, and then I will be able to provide you with the answer.
Thank you.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the Minister said efforts are being done, but has not specifically mentioned what efforts are being done. Can the Minister please explain to us specifically what project is doing what to address this particular situation in Serekunda and Kanifing area?
No, what I explained in my earlier response was that the World Bank has provided NAWEC with funds to drill new boreholes, expand the network. The AFD, Agence France de Développement, has also provided 29 million euro to the government of the Gambia to expand the water infrastructure, to drill more boreholes, have more transmission network and distribution network. Also, the OIC Secretariat is provided NAWEC to drill, and actually they have dug boreholes to connect to the existing system so that there will be additional water to be pumped into the distribution network. So these are the things that I refer to.
Honourable Member for Sanimentary.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, since NAWEC could not confirm the water shortage at this particular hospital that has been mentioned here, was the ministry able to do or to monitor or to do any findings physically then? Thank you.
I don't think I understand your question.
Yeah, honorable member. Actually, he said NAWEC is not aware, and that the hospital was contacted, and they said they are not suffering from any water shortage in the recent past.
Haven't heard from the minister, if I should hear him clearly or understand what he says.
Your question, honorable member.
No, I'm just trying to clarify what I heard from him. Anyway, the minister, it seems the minister was, or the ministry was relying on the confirmation or the response from NAWEC by confirming that there was no water shortage. What I'm asking is, was the ministry able to do a physical monitoring at the hospital at that moment? I know, yes, I heard from him that they will continue monitoring. But before continuing monitoring, yes, there were some confirmations. But then at that moment, was the ministry able to see that area physically to confirm, not to rely only on the NAWEC's response? That's what I mean. Thank you.
No, we did not do that, because we rely on NAWEC as the operator. But I think we will take a cue from you that in the future we will do such a thing.
Question number 0185 of 2022, Honorable Member for Jara East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Member for Jara West. I said member for Jara West. He asked me to read his questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, there is no electricity supply in the whole of Jara East constituency. Could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy inform this August Assembly of the Ministry's plans, if any, to extend electricity supply to this constituency? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Communities in Jara East to be electrified under the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. I've explained that the contract has been signed, it became effective, and it's a duration of 24 months. The contractor is doing the engineering, design, survey works, and procurement for works to start on the ground. I think all these projects, especially with the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Project, came about following the construction and the commissioning of the OMVG transmission network and having the Soma substation and also the Birkama substation behind the power station. And following the construction of these substations under the ECOWAS, the World Bank decided to fund a project under ECOWAS to provide access, which is not only for the Gambia, but we in the Gambia, I think Guinea-Bissau and Mali benefited under the first phase. And we were given $66 million grant money to be able to provide access to our people. So it will be because of from the substations in Soma, then, most of these communities will be connected because of the existence of this substation in Soma. And also both on the South Bank and North Bank region and other communities.
Thank you. No supplementary.
Question number 0186 of 2022, Honorable Member for Combo South.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, he has authorized me to read his questions on his behalf. Combo South. Member for Combo South.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, could the Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Energy inform this August Assembly how much money was paid by Jingon Foundation Sand Mining Unit since the insurance of Lansing to the company for the extracting sand from various locations within Combo South?
Honourable Speaker, according to data provided by the Geological Department, Jinkon Sand Mining Company paid the government of the Gambia $54,991,150 as royalty from September 2020 to 31st October 2022.
No supplementary. Question number.
Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Honourable Speaker, $54 million is paid to the Gambia government for royalty. But we all know that sand mining is being done in very close to other communities and it's affecting them also. So what percentage of this would go to the communities as royalty in your own assessment? Or do you pay, let me put it, do you pay royalty to the communities that are being affected or to benefit from this sand mining industry?
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. There are different aspects to the sand mining, okay? Currently, the licensee or the permit holder, as part of the process to acquire a permit or a license, need to go to the community and talk to the community and get the community's agreement and have an MOU as to what he is going to do for the community. And that is the first document that you have to present to the geology. Now, they will agree because they will be exploiting or extracting the sand for their benefit, so the community needs to get something from it. Now, in addition to the royalty that the geology collects and gives to the treasury, so we're looking the regulations and the necessary studies to be carried out.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, we would acknowledge your ministry's efforts, especially as per to the Denton Bridge mining aspect, as we did hear that it was even halted to further make the investigations which are currently ongoing. You did make mention that that is the indigenous people